How y'all doing today? Facebook, how y'all doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? Today was a very sad and eventful day. I went and checked out a very, very good friend of mine. I've known her for about 2008, 18, about probably about 13, 14 years. She lost her son. Man, I don't know what to say. I know with some of you out there that's probably lost loved ones, you might have even lost children. But that is extremely something that all I can do is just pray. And I want you guys to be praying for the Brown family. But I'm coming up here because I'm so excited. I have 5 new subscribers on YouTube and I'm just stoked. I remember when I started off with just what 1 and 2, then 7, then 13, and now I have 26 subscribers. And guess what? I'm gonna take the time out to come on and talk to you guys. See if it's any questions that you have for me. If it's anything I can do for you. If you want me to pray for you for a particular reason. If you got a particular topic that you have on your heart. If something's bothering you, and you just need some good advice about it, some good godly advice about it, and not anything negative. Something that's telling you to do something that would cause you not to respond in the right way, then here I am. Here I am. So I just want to tell y'all today that I'm just so thankful. I am just so thankful. And what I really need is what I really am trying to do is I want to spread the love of God. And how do we do that? There's strength in unity. That's how being able to come on, being able to support one another. Come on, we have these different platforms, channels. I've been going on people's channels and leaving comments. Come on, that encouragement. I done left so many encouraging comments. That takes time to do that. But I want to speak to my subscribers and even on Facebook, those that support me, and just tell you thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments, for your feedback. If you share the content, thank you for sharing. I love you guys. God loves you. Come on, and there's real life situations going on in the world with people, whether you want to share it or not. So I'm here. I said, talk to me, y'all. I'm gonna wait till some people get up here. I'm gonna stay on for a while because I need some people to talk to me. Listen, there's things going on. I'm gonna wait until I see some people come on. But I'm just gonna begin talking. You know what? God gave me that gift to be able to just talk. I don't even have to have an audience. I don't even have to have a response. You understand? I just talk. I can just talk. Something that God has put on my heart. So I'm moved to let you guys know that I'll take the time, come on the live screen, you pop on, you ask the question, or you get something off your chest that you got to say. Maybe it's a situation you with while you was at work and you needed somebody to talk to about it. Maybe you ain't nobody that you can trust to talk to. Oh, maybe you just needing some advice. Come on, it's a lonely world out there. It is. And I'll just talk about me. I have so many different things going on. Being that I'm a mom, I'm a mother of 7. I have all different age groups. I have a grown 19-year-old, I got a 17-year-old, and then I got a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, 9-year-old, and a 7-year-old. So I got all age groups. So I mean, we game. You may see some gaming on my page. You may hear some singing. You're definitely going to hear about God because I just love God and I just believe in encouraging and just building up people. Why are we tearing people down? We shouldn't be tearing people down. We should be building people up, saying, "Man, you got that. Go for it. Go for it. I see you. You did a really good job. This is what you need to work on." You're building them up. But see, so much hate has seeped in, and now you can't even give nobody a compliment. Come on with somebody. You can't even tell somebody, "Oh my, oh, you done a great job." You can't tell them when they met a milestone. You understand? So I'm just thankful for my subscribers. We as parents in general, we have a responsibility to our children. You know, I was talking to somebody today about being a good example. I want to be a good example. And sometimes when I don't make the right decisions and when I don't do things the right way, I know I'm not being a good example. That really bothers me because somebody's looking up to me. You understand? And I don't want to act out of character. I don't want to act out of anger just because maybe I'm having a bad day or somebody done pushed every button that I had. And so I just pray to God, I need to be a good example. And that's how you, especially when it comes to your children. A lot of times what happens is you tell the child, do what I say, do as I say, and what not as I do. And that's not right. And you should be convicted by that because the child is looking at you and a lot of times mimicking what you're doing. So we need to make sure that we're teaching our children that we're being good examples for them to follow and not telling them to not doing something. And we're doing that very same thing. Come on in here. I'm waiting for some people to come on in. Come on in the room or whatever it is that you call it. I got this thing going on. Come on in the room. I'm just randomly talking. I want to be able to pray. First of all, pray for my homie, my sister. She has such a sweet spirit. And I heard her say today that maybe somebody might have dropped something on her, like some roots or something, because she seemed to be having things happening into her, and there's basically trouble being on every side, and it kind of hurt me to my heart, and it really wasn't for me to speak with her about that thing, but I sure enough wanted to. But we gotta pick and choose when we, speak about certain issues that's going on. But I know it'll be another opportunity where I will talk to her about that thing. And if you feel that way, if you feel like somebody maybe drop something on you or something, and why is these things always happening to you? You seem to be going through something every month, every week, every year is a different tragedy or something like that. And I want you to think about Job. That's who I think about. I'm pretty sure Job felt the exact same way, y'all. He was like, man, all his children died. Come on, he was an upright man, blameless. He had all the good qualities. We're not even good enough. We're not even worthy enough. You understand? When I think of an upright person, somebody that's upright, I know blameless before God. If I go there and look at it, it's like 4 words that he was, and I can't think of the other 2. But he was faithful, upright, he was blameless, and it was one more word. All right. And so I'm on here and I'm just blessing the Lord. My life, I try to not to make it so much of an open book, but at the same token, if God has given it to me to share, I'm gonna share it. When disagreements come, I know that people like to hear gossip in business. So when disagreements come about, they will come about. There's still going to be arguments within your relationship. There are going to be disagreements. You're going to get angry and you're going to have to go maybe in the other room or something and cool off. You understand? And you're going to have to learn to sometimes be quiet and just let the other person talk because they feel like they got to get the last words, the last laugh, and sometimes you just got to humble yourself. See, I'm starting to learn to do that in my own relationship. A lot of times it's like I want to prove my point and you're trying to say I didn't do this or I'm not this. And I'm like, well, yes, I did or I didn't, and after a while I just get quiet. You understand? Because I just get quiet because I'm like, I got to get this humility thing under control. Lord, help me. And I'm like, Lord, help me with this thing. I want to be humble. And I just shut my mouth. I just shut my mouth immediately. Or at least I try to. Sometimes my mind gets the best of me. You know what I'm saying? But I try to shut my mouth immediately. And I'm just calling some people out on tonight. I'm calling some people. I wish I could tag them. But I'm on this here certain platform. And it doesn't really allow me to. I can go on Facebook and do so. But I'm calling some people out because God has laid it on my heart to just speak with you. And I'm coming on because I'm gonna see how you doing. You gotta talk to me today. You gotta talk to me. That you gotta get out of state. Um, that's your end. I mean, you can't feel defeated. Of course, you have to keep going and everything, and you have to have the mind to serve the Lord. That's it. That's what it's about. And see, life gonna get hard. It's gonna beat you down, but it's about being able to hold out and endure. You got to be able to endure until the end. You have to. Endurance is necessary. You gotta have some strength. You gotta have. You gotta not give up so easily. You gotta be able to stand in the evil day. This is the evil time. Come look. Did y'all see that video of those people over there in Cabal where they was holding on to the airplane? What person in their right mind does that? They trying to get out of that country. Look, they was holding on to the airplane on the outside of it. That's how bad they wanted to get out of that area. That they would hold on to the outside of the airplane, and people was falling from several feet in the air off of an airplane because that's how bad they wanted to get out of that country. Do you know how sad that is? Come on. That is a sign. What you can't even ask yourself, what is the world coming to? Them people was holding. If you don't believe me, go and search and Google it. Go and search and Google it right now. All you got to say is people falling from an airplane in Cabal and watch it come up. Those people was holding on to the outside of an airplane. You know, you understand. So these things is getting terrible out here, man. I know it was a bomb that had went off, right? Let's talk about that for a minute because we need to stay up on our current events. We need to know what's going on in the world. We need to know what's happening over there overseas. You understand? I need to know what's happening over there overseas as well. And haven't I haven't been up on it like I should be, but there was like a bombing, right? Anybody know about it? There was a bombing over in Afghanistan at the Kabul airport. Said I think it was like 16 U.S. citizens were killed and 60 Afghanistanians or Taliban, whatever you call them, were injured or killed. Oh my goodness. We got 2 minutes ago. This is a live update from Afghanistan. Says the U.S. says the drone strike killed ISIS K target. Then I have something that says Biden said the U.S. would hunt down Kabul airport attackers. So there was a Kabul airport attackers. It killed 13 U.S. service members and at least 90 Afghans, and it was a suicide bomb. Y'all remember when them people overseas would strap a bomb to they didn't care, they would strap a bomb to a child and kill them just to kill. It's suicide bomb. Now this has started back up again. A suicide bomb attack at the airport's Abbey Gate was followed by an assault by gunmen. So another bomb attack took place. Look at all these bomb attacks taking place and things like that. Let's pray for everybody over there in Afghanistan right now. It says more than 100 people were killed. At least 13 U.S. service members and 90 Afghans. It was two blasts that ripped through the crowds trying to enter the American control facility. Disrupting the final push of the U.S.-led evacuation effort. A suicide bomb attack at the airport's Abbey Gate was followed by an assault by gunmen, officials said. Then another bomb attack took place nearby at a hotel outside the airport, officials said. 18 U.S. service members were injured, the Pentagon said. The attack marked the deadliest day for the U.S. military in Afghanistan since 2011 and came just 5 days before the Biden administration's deadline for the complete military withdrawal from the country. Now, I know for a fact those people over there, that Taliban man, he said that he was not giving any extensions. As the way he said it. In other words, the U.S. was trying to get until September 11th to get all the troops out of Afghanistan, withdraw the troops in that country. But those Taliban people said, we need extensions. And they're showing you right now with these bombs that they not playing with you. You get them up out of there. It's what they said. So let's pray that these Taliban or Afghanistan people, that their hearts are unhardened and they allow those people to get out of there safely. They've already started killing them. Killing. They don't care if they kill their own people. They ain't worried about even if they kill their own people, y'all. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So Lord, we need to just pray. It's starting to round back up and get terrible. Then if that country combines with some other countries or whatever and decides to go to war with us, they go World War III. Right? And they go do your history on the I could tell you a history lesson. Okay, you when you was in social studies, right? And they talked about World War I and World War II. It's been a long time since I've been in social studies. And so I just think back, but whenever they was talking about those wars, that really sounded really terrible. I mean, some terrible things happened. People became hungry and jobs, and I think banks shut down. Just a number of things happened that came along with it. It's good for us to do research, and if we don't remember it from school, what happened then we need to do research to know about these wars, because there could be a World War III. You understand? It's just hanging in the balance right now with these countries. Right now, it seems to be peace, but now these people want the U.S. out of their area, and they're not allowing any of their people to leave. Those people want to leave. Those people over there in Pakistan or whatever, they want to leave from over there, and they say they're not allowing them to leave. I mean, so it's really crazy, and I really feel sorry for them, man, that they're stuck. Over here's the land of the free, but I don't know, over there must be like a dictatorship or something, and they're not free. But anyway, they're not able to. That's why they was hanging on that plane like that. Man, if I show you the image of them hanging on that daggone plane like that, I'm trying to tell you, that thing, it really got to me, because them people, they didn't care if they died. They rather die than to be over there in that country. What person do you know? Do you think you're gonna survive if you hang on the end of a plane as it takes off? It's really not funny. It's really sad. But if you look at that video, them people was hanging on the plane. Yes, they was trying to leave from there. So let's pray. We got to start being aware of the things that's happening around us and in them other countries over there, because them other countries are what could turn sour if you don't do it. If the U.S. they not in agreement with what the U.S. says, I mean, it could turn sour. And just you think we got some big heavy hit things over here? I'm sure they've been working secretly for years. Weapons of mass destruction. And that's all you've been hearing over the years, of how the U.S. has went in and tried to seize these weapons of mass destruction. Come on, but them people still got them things. They underground somewhere. Even though they think they've got Saddam Hussein and that they ended all of that, them people are still over there training and building weapons of mass destruction. Don't let nobody fool you. Them people are still doing it. And so today, I just want to be able to love on somebody, to pray with somebody, just to basically show you that I'm here. I've taken my open time in case there's anybody that needs a word of encouragement. If you have a topic that you would like for someone to speak on, just spare the moment right now. You give me a topic, I give you what God gave me right at the spare moment. Or we'll find the scripture together. Come on, we learn and grow together. And then I might have a few questions I want to ask you. Who knows? Because I'm not the smartest person in the world, but at the same token, we do this thing together. There's strength and unity. And you can learn something from somebody else. It don't matter. It is not just because they're younger than you or they're older than you. That doesn't mean anything. A young person can teach an older person something. And of course, an older person can teach a younger person something. So we learn and grow together. So I hope you guys have had a blessed Saturday, and I hope you're being encouraged. I know times get hard sometimes, and we get complacent in the spot that we're in. We get real complacent at where we're at in life, and God has so much more for us. Yeah, so he's like, I got this for you, but if you would just step over here, but you keep staying stuck right here and you're stuck. But God has so much more in store for you. You understand? You praying for your marriage right now. I'm just gonna talk about people that's married right now. You praying for your marriage. See, it's people praying for their marriage. Then it's people that's praying to get married. So for those that's praying for your marriage, you understand? If you're praying for your marriage or if you're praying to get married, you know, you have to first start with yourself and begin to say, well, what is it about me? Because I had to do that. When you get into a relationship with somebody used to being single, then it's like your head strong and you don't want that person to do anything for you. Just used to. It's like you get this mindset that you got to survive and do things on your own. That's how I was, and a lot of times I didn't want my husband to help me do anything. I didn't want him to tell me anything because I had gotten used to doing everything on my own, and I had made it up in my mind that if I had to do it by myself, I would. And see, that's okay. Like being a single mother, if that's the case, if that's what you are. When I was a single mother before I met my husband, I was like, it's a mindset. Come on. Being a single parent is a mindset. You got to set your mind and say, okay, I ain't got nobody to help me. It's just me. You understand? You got to set your mind and say, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to succeed. I'm going to work. I'm going to find a way to provide and take care of my kids, and I'm going to be all right. But if you would let the other side sink in, you're going to be like, man, it's just me by myself. It's so hard. You'll begin to think about all the negative things. Like, man, it's so hard doing this by myself. And you'll begin to cry and just say, why me? And why the other parent ain't helping? And so what you have to do, I understand it's a mindset that you have when you're in a relationship. And then you got to get out of that mindset and say, let somebody help you. Let someone help you. If somebody loves you and they want to help you, let them help you. It's okay. It's called humbling yourself and being like, okay, yes, I do need help. No, I don't know everything. It's okay. But it's so hard sometimes for us to put our guard down about that situation because you're so scared of being let down. People will let you down. It's like, first, they'll say, you can trust me. I got you. And all of a sudden you let go of the ledge that you was holding on to. And then they say, okay, I got you. Come on, you can let go. You can let go of the ledge and hold on to me. I got you. And as soon as you let go of that ledge and you ain't got nothing else to grip or hold on to but that person, then they like, I don't got you. Or they get angry at you and all of a sudden they don't got you. And all of a sudden you left out there by yourself. You don't let go of the ledge, you know? And so I understand it's hard to trust. And that's the number one thing. You got to be able to have trust. Now, I'm going to come to y'all and talk to y'all about some real life stuff with me and my husband. It was so hard for me to trust him. And I found myself always trying to look and find a fault or find something that he was doing. I would always find a way to look through his phone, or you know what I'm saying, or go behind him. If he said he went somewhere, I would go and look and see was he there. I didn't have any trust. I didn't have any peace. Not having any trust, you won't have any peace. Oh my goodness, I didn't have any peace. I was up so always worried about what the other person, what he was doing, where he was at, who he was talking to. And it was just draining. Oh my goodness, it was so draining. I didn't know what to do. I said, Lord, help me. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be drained like this off of what another person is or isn't doing. There has to be more to life than this. And then let me tell you that God gave me such a peace one day. First, He had to give it to me because my husband went away to prison for a year and 3 months. So He had to give me a peace. And I remember when he went away, it was a feeling that I had, a feeling of emptiness. Like, wow, now I got to sleep alone. But wish I was sleeping alone before because we had separated. But I'm like, but now, wow, I really got to sleep alone. And I can't call him and say, hey, come over or let me come over. Like he's really gone. And I really have to sleep alone. I really have to do this by myself. I really, and God with me every step of the way. And He placed people in my life that's like, okay, if you need help, I got you. He placed people in my life. You understand? Yes, He did too. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that, and it's taught me over the years that I don't have to be so resilient in a sense, and I can accept help. And even but what I do know is God will set you up, and he'll stand you up so that when you trust somebody else and the trust fails, they don't follow through with the trust factor, that God still got you. That's how I look at it. If I trust him and for some reason he just is like, you know what, this isn't working, I got to do my own thing, which everybody's entitled to their own opinion, their own way of doing things. God doesn't make us. If that happens, then I'm like, okay, God, you said you got me. You said you got me. That's all I got to lean on. I was talking about that, how we got to we got to learn this. We got to learn to lean and depend on Jesus. We got to learn to lean. It's a learning thing. Learning and depend on Jesus. Knowing that he got you covered. Reading his word and understanding that in times of difficulty that he is there. Practice, putting it into practice. Every time another situation comes up in your life, well, God got me. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Activating your faith. You understand, when times get hard, when you get into those arguments with your girlfriends and with your boyfriends, come on. I done seen some people, and to include myself, you get into such a bad argument that you go off and you go over to your friend house or to your mom house and say, I just had to get away from he or she. I just had to get away from a man, and I got to come clear my head somewhere. You go and clear your head so that you can come back, and now you can talk to that person. You can reason with that person, right? But yeah, I just got various topics on today. But just in these relationships can be so stressful. Come on, they can be so stressful sometimes. And stressful. It's a stressor. It is. And you got to learn how to cope. You got to learn how to deal. You got to learn how to just be quiet sometimes. You got to learn how to just go cool off and come back to the situation. You got to you got to say, I digress. You got to say, I digress. I'm telling you. And let yourself cool off. Let yourself cool off. You understand? And then if you are a single parent that has to do things on your own, God will give you the strength to be able to do. He'll give you the mind to come on. It starts in your mind. And if you have that mind that, you know what, I'm tired of this, I'm sick of such and such not helping me, and why do I have to do it by myself? I didn't make this child by myself. Why do I have to do it by myself? Because I used to feel like that. And let me tell you, the first person that my first baby daddy, I used to be on the phone with him and be like, well, why don't you want to see your kids? When we was together, you was in your kids' life. As soon as we weren't together no more, you just stopped seeing them like that. You stopped really caring about them. You started caring for another woman's kids. And I used to be angry about that. And sometimes a post to come up on Facebook where I've said, well, mighty funny, you over there celebrating somebody else's kid birthday while yours is over here. You ain't seen them, and their feelings is hurt, and they're hurt because they used to their dad being in their life, and things like that. And I really just didn't have an understanding of why, and I never will. I never will. I guess just adapt to the life that you're at. Somebody out there tell me, you fathers out there that decide that you're not going to be a part of your kids' life. Your kids not far. They're not overseas. They're not hours and hours away. They're just right down the street. They're just 20-30 minutes away. Why don't you want to be in your child's life? Why don't you want to be active in it? You understand? You got children, and the years are passing by and they're growing up without you. Like, somebody respond and tell me why that is. Is it because the baby mama is bitter and she won't let you, and you feel like you will have more problems being in their life than not, and you feel like you just want to wait? I mean, what are the ramifications to that? You just don't want to put up with the drama. Is it because you got a girlfriend now and the girlfriend don't want you to be in connection with the baby mama? I mean, somebody explain these things to me. I'm just trying to understand. And then maybe if I can have an understanding, because see, with my baby daddy, he would come around every blue moon, but he would make the kids promises and not keep the promises, and the kids would be all upset and crying and hurt feelings. And I gotta be the one to sit there and look. And my husband, he would be like, He's a stepdad. He'd be like, no, because he's not gonna keep on making these kids promises and then not keeping it. You can't do that to a kid. Don't make a kid a promise and not keep it. That kid don't care if they don't see you nothing but once or twice a year. But when you tell them you're gonna do something, you should do it. Or else don't tell them you're gonna do it, because it's broken promises. That, you know how much hurt I seen in my children's faces from their father being like, I'm gonna do this, and then they waited and waited, and it never happened. Don't do that to your children. And you just as well as not see them at all than to make them a promise that you're gonna see them, that you're gonna do something, and then just not follow through with it. That's not cool. Maybe my baby daddy rest in peace, because he passed away a couple of years ago. You know, he was shot. That's why I said topic number 2 or 3 or whatever. You don't know where death is. You're sitting around here hating folks and having a problem with folks. And even though with my baby daddy, he didn't do all the way right by his kids, he didn't come and see him and spend time with him like he should. I want him to be at school and on the first day of school. And you just certain things that you want to see of your kid. He wasn't able to be there, but I made things right with him. I didn't have a grudge with him about it, and I was able to speak to him, and he could still call me and just talk to me. It was like we was best friends, but we really couldn't be best friends because I got a husband. But he was still like my best friend, because like I knew him straight out of high school, and we always remained cool. He would call me and talk to me about some of his problems that he was dealing with in life. He would call me. I would give him advice. You understand? I still remember that, and I didn't hold any resentment against him because he wasn't able to really. He didn't really have the drive to be in his kid's life like that. You understand? But I still made peace, and I didn't have a negative attitude towards him. So I know I hate that he passed away the way that he did, but I know that me and him, we was all right. Like I didn't have any unforgiveness in my heart. He knew that we was cool. You understand? We talked about things, because there was things that happened in our relationship. You understand? Like believe it or not, like I've been with my husband for, let's see, we've been married 9 years, but we've been together for 13 years. So we stayed together 4 years before we even got married. You understand? And before my husband, I was with my baby daddy for about 8 years, straight out of high school. So it was like I had known him, and we had a relationship established, but I ended up having to leave him because I got with him straight out of high school, and I really didn't have a chance to explore or be with nobody else. So I was a party animal. You hear me? It was like when I first met my baby daddy straight out of high school, I was a homebody. I want nothing but like 17, 18. Got my first crib in the projects. I still remember it. Got my first car, my first job, and I was just at home, going from work to home. I was just like a married woman at that time, which I wasn't, but I was acting like one, and I was just at home cooking, taking care. I had one child then. But then after a while, once I got a taste of what it was like to be free, I didn't know how to act. I was going to the club every weekend. I was cheating. I'm not gonna lie. I started cheating on my baby daddy because at first I was the one that was at home, like the homebody, like the good girl. He was the one that was staying out to 5 to 6 in the morning saying studio, studio. So once the tables turned and I started doing that, and I got real, I'm talking about I got real wild. I was standing out all times at night. Sometimes I wouldn't even come home at night. And my kids' grandmother, my kids' grandmother had them. So I didn't have to worry about my kids because the grandma had them. Now my mom passed away when I was about 11 or 12 from breast cancer, but the kids' grandma, she was a good grandma, and may her soul rest in peace because she passed away as well. But I think God was showing me, hey, you need to slow down. And as long as I got these people in my life, I wouldn't have slowed down because I always had somebody that had my back, somebody that would get the kids. My kids' grandmother said, hey, I'm gonna keep these kids until you get yourself together, or until you finish running the streets or whatever it was that you was doing. And she had my kids, but she passed away not long after that, and I had to get my kids back. But sometimes God does things because he just has a way of doing things. And I feel like if I would have had her, and I loved her to death, she taught me just about everything I know. She taught me how to cook collards. I remember she would be like, go in there and put she would tell me exactly what to do to the collard. So you know what I'm saying? Go in there and do this, put a pinch of flour or whatever, you know. And she would tell me what to do. And that's how I was in. And I loved her to death. She had a heart of pure gold. And even though she liked to drink, she did it. She took her grandkids and my kids and said, I'll keep them. She said she would keep them. And I was ripping and running there. You understand me? When she passed away, something clicked in my head and said, Patricia, you got to get it together. And even though I hadn't gave my life to the Lord totally at that time, it was a life-changing event that happened that said, Patricia, it's time for you to get it together. And see, that's what happens sometimes when God begins to do a work within you and he begins to bring about a change, is that you just automatically give your life to God and get saved. It may just be a life-changing event that happens, and all of a sudden you it just gets the wheels to turning in your head. Oh, okay, this is happening. It's time for it, and something clicks and said it's time for a change to take place. You understand? And then you begin to say, and then after that change, you're like, okay, I need to slow down. I need to start taking care of my kids. But even yet, and still after then, I was still going out, but I wasn't going out as much. I was still drinking, but I wasn't drinking as much. You know, I slowed down just a little bit, and then as the years to come, things progressed, and like I lost my job, I lost my car that my daddy had gave me a car. I had to make payments on the car. It wasn't a paid for car, but he said, "Hey, you can take over the payments and have it." And he just dropped the car off to me one day. You understand? I think that was a blessing. God blessed me with that. But then I didn't know where the water went at, and neither did my boyfriend at the time. He didn't know where the water. The car blew up. The head gasket blew in the car because we didn't know where the water went at. I still remember these things, but what I'm telling you is that when the process begins, it's gonna start in your mind. Your wheels gonna get to turning and being like, I can't keep on doing these things that I'm doing. What am I doing? What am I doing? I am killing myself slowly. I am harming myself. It's not anything good. You just get your wheels get to turning. You know what I'm saying? So my wheels got to turning, and I said, "What am I doing? All I'm doing is just drinking. All I'm doing is just partying, up all nights, tired, and just wearing my body out. And what am I doing? Up all night. You know what I'm saying? My kids, somebody else keeping them, and now you know what I'm saying. No, what am I doing? I'm missing out on my kids' life. What am I doing? And then the wheels get to turning in your mind. What am I doing? That's gonna be the first step. That's where you're gonna know, okay, something gonna have to give and a change has to take place and come forward. That's what happened to me when I lost my children's grandmother, and she took me in like a door. First, when she first met me, she said, she can't stay here. And me and my baby, it was her grandbaby. I guess she was trying to have tough love. Me and my baby, I remember we walked tracks. We was going to the shelter. We were gonna stay. The shelter took us in, and I was like, okay, I got to go to the shelter. So I remember my baby daddy. We walked the track to the shelter. Got in. It was okay. I knew I would have to leave in the daytime, and that next day, she sent my baby daddy back to get us and said, "Come on." So we went to stay with her. In the process, she didn't have the heart to make me leave and stay at that shelter, but I was willing to do it. I was willing to stay at that shelter if I had to. I stayed there for one night, and she came back and got me. But I was willing to do what I had to do, honey. And when she came back to get me, I got a job and I signed up for the projects. That's where I got my first crib. But it's just these stories like this. But the guy would get your wheels to turning. That's where it starts. Just to know that what you're doing is doing more harm than good, and that you're not gonna be able to cut it out on your own. You're not. Sometimes sin, you get so deep in sin, and it feels so good, man. When I tell you, I felt so good to go to the mall, go to the store, buy me a new outfit, put that new outfit on, skin tight, whatever, looking cute, like I was with my heels on, and go out. Man, I was cute, and it felt so good that it was addictive. And I did that thing every weekend. I worked, but on the weekends I was going out, and it was so addictive to do that. But after a while, my wheels got to turning. Like, why am I keep on doing what am I mean? My wheels got to turning. I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. It's not productive at any rate. I wasted 10 years of my life doing that. And then the thing that really got me was when I was around people, and like say 10 years later, my wheels done got to turning right. And I done decided I didn't want to do these things no more. And I done changed, and God began to bring about a change. But I go back 10 years later, see those same people that I used to hang around, and they still doing the exact same thing. And then I'm like, what in the world? Like is this really real? Like 10 years later, and you ain't got nothing else on your mind. You ain't made no more forward steps. You still sitting around drinking, and you know what I'm saying, and at the bootlegger all times of the night. No, after a while that cuts out. And I promise you, 10 years later, it was people that used to hang with. They still was doing the same thing. Ain't went nowhere. Ain't made no progress whatsoever. I'm telling you. So your wheels will get to turning. And come on. And now I get to thinking I need to be around people that got something on their mind. I got to, because it says if you lay down with dogs, you'll wake up with fleas. You got to be around people that's got them on their mind. I am not saying I'm better than nobody else, but it irks me so bad to be around somebody that ain't got nothing on their mind. I'm talking about nothing. You ain't trying to get no job. You ain't all you talking about is fighting and gossiping and being ghetto. And come on, and you ain't got nothing on your mind. You ain't taking care of your kids. Your kids just as worse as you are. And so this is a praying time for this world. And what we got to do is get our wheels to turning. If there's some things in your life that you know need to change, there's some things in your life that you know needed. Back then, there were some things in my life that I knew needed to change. After that woman died, my children's grandmother, whenever I needed a babysitter to go somewhere, she would always keep the kids. She had the kids. I didn't have to worry about where my kids was going or if they was okay. I know she was going to feed them, bathe them, take care of them. But when she passed away and I didn't have nobody, some wheels got to turn and saying, okay, something's got to give. Patricia, something's got to change. And I couldn't change it on my own. But then I said, Lord, please help me. And even though I still won't all the way totally committed to God. That's when the process of change began. A change took place, y'all. And that's what can happen to you. So I'm telling you out there today, see, you may not tell nobody else about your situation, and it may be secret, and you may be ashamed of it. And whether it be a drug addiction, a sex addiction, a gambling addiction, or whatever type of addiction that you have on today, and you might not want to share it with nobody, but you begin to get those wheels to turn. It starts there. It started there for me, and I was like, you know what? I'm drinking, but I'm not gonna be doing this. I'll be around people, and people that get sick and tired of me, y'all. Because they would be like, please don't talk about that positive stuff today. Please don't mention God today. Please, it just spoils the mood. It just, and that's when my wheels really got to turn in them. I don't need to be here. I can't even mention God. Are you serious? I can't even mention God, the one that is head and in control of my life. No, something's wrong with that. You don't want nobody to mention God because you feel convicted. Come on. And so it was like my wheels got to turn, and like I need to be around people that I can talk about God. God is my everything. Like God is a keeper. God made a way for me. He helped me. He saved me. He loves me. And I began to sit around people even while I was drinking. And I began to say, I'm not gonna be doing this forever. I'm just not. And I'd be like, I'm just not gonna be doing it. And I keep on speaking that thing, y'all, with the beer in my hand. I'm not gonna be doing this. Before long, I began to take that taste out of my mouth. I can remember the very day when I decided I'm not gonna do this no more. This is it. I'm tired. I'm tired of getting high out of my mind. weed. I remember when my husband, he sold weed. So when people would come around for parties and stuff, right? They loved it us. They loved it me because they know my husband was gonna keep me with the weed. And even when I didn't want to smoke weed like that, he was rolling big blunts. Like, here, baby, here, baby. You know what I'm saying? And the people loved it, smoking people's heads off. You hear me? They loved it. You understand? And sometimes I'd be like, I don't even want to smoke this. But being pressured just because people around you, I smoked it. After a while, I was like, I'm done. I'm not smoking this no more. And I'm asking God to slowly take the taster. It was then I asked him to slowly take the taste of alcohol away from me. I'm tired of doing it. Out one time I had cirrhosis of the liver. I went to the hospital. Listen, I almost killed my own self in a car because I fell asleep behind the wheel for a split second. And when I woke up, I was driving, right? I fell asleep because I was drinking for a split second. And when I woke back up, it scared me so bad. The wheel jerked like this. As soon as it did, the car was spinning around doing donuts. When I woke up, I was so startled. I was in the car, and the car was just spinning around like this in the highway, and I didn't know what to do. You understand me? All of a sudden, I just let go of the wheel, and the car ran on the underside of the bridge. I was on the bottom level, and it totaled the whole car, busted my lip, but the airbag came out, and I was so afraid. And from that point forward, I left the scene and went to where my daddy and stepmom was, and they took me back there. And of course, the police took out charges on me for reckless driving and all that stuff. And that was a long time ago, but I could have lost my life. I could have lost my life from drinking. And some of you could have lost your life. You understand? Then when I went to the hospital, and then another story was when me and my husband, we got into it in the very beginning because of alcohol. We had drank some white lightning or something, whatever you call it. Got into it. I got out the car to run. Fell on a daggone rock this big around, fell hard on the rock. My head was busted. See that scar that's right? There's a scar right there to prove it. My head was busted open right here. And I was so drunk that I wasn't going to the hospital. I went home, had a daggone pad on my forehead to stop the bleeding, and I just laid there. I didn't go to the hospital. My homegirl called her mama, and she was like, "Mama, what should we do? What should we do?" And she showed her, and I didn't care. I was so drunk, I was just laying there, sleep. The next thing I know, somebody done called the ambulance. But when I got to the hospital, they said I was close to dying and didn't know it. Didn't even know it. Could have died. But somebody had enough sense. My homegirl had enough sense to call her mama, and then they just called the ambulance, even though I told them not to, because I hate going to the hospital. And they had to stitch my head up. You could see inside my brain, inside my head. Yes, that happened. And then another incident was when I went to the hospital, and they found some type of infection. Talking about it was coming from my liver or kidney area, and they couldn't really pinpoint what it was. And my first thought was, oh my God, I got cirrhosis of the liver. I thought I had some fatal disease from drinking, because I did drink a lot. And do you ever know somebody, or you might be the type of person that you just take a whole pint of alcohol, you just guzzle it down like like it's nothing. I don't believe I drink like that, but I drink. You understand me? When you see people doing it, just taking that pure alcohol, and they just guzzle it down like it's water. Come on, there's something wrong with that. And I would be like, I'll be holding my liver. Like, your liver, your body, your health. Care about your health. I would be like, oh my goodness, Lord, help them. Lord, help me. And I got that scare thought I had cirrhosis of the liver. I waited at the hospital for some hours. They tried to run tests to figure out what was wrong. And in the end, they said it ended up being a kidney infection or something. It wasn't cirrhosis of the liver. And I was so thankful. And these things led up to the wheels turning in my mind, saying it's changed. You understand? Because I could have ended up with cirrhosis of the liver. I could have been dead or paralyzed or anything, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? But and it took Jesus. It took me just having the willingness to say, I don't want to do this anymore. And then the thing that really got me is when I said I didn't want to do it anymore, man, I thought I had so many friends and it was so many people around. They was coming to see me every day. If I needed a ride somewhere, if I didn't want to drive my car, I had everything I needed. It was a sense of security, but it was a fake sense of security just because of what I had. Because I kept the weed, because I kept the drinks, because I kept the party, kept the food. You know what I'm saying? It was the spot. But I'm thinking these people care about me, but they don't care about me. And I'm here to tell you today, they don't care about you. They just care about what you have to offer. That's it. Look, as soon as I decided I didn't want to smoke weed and drink no more, and that I wouldn't have these crowd of folks around, especially if they didn't have the right things on their mind, everybody left. I didn't have not one person to come by to see me. Well, my best friend, she still would. But everybody stopped coming because now I'm changing my life. I don't want to smoke weed no more. So now it ain't no free weed. It ain't no free weed. It ain't no free drinks no more. Things changed and people changed. The people I thought were my friends, the people I thought that were down for me, they didn't really care about me. I didn't see them no more. They didn't call just to check on me and see how I was doing. And guess what? I was hurt by that too. I was seriously hurt and couldn't understand it. But I'm here to tell you today, if you were in a place where the friends that you thought were your friends, they don't come around you no more because you decided to change. You decided you won't want to do those drugs no more that they doing. Come on, with somebody out there, you decided that you won't want to steal from nobody no more. You decided that you won't want to be in the gang no more. My best friend decided she wasn't gonna be in the gang no more. Because it's not cool. But when you decide to do something different, you'll find yourself feeling lonely. It's gonna be a lonely road because now you're not doing what people want you to do. And that's all it was about. That's when you realize who your real friends are. Those that stick with you no matter what decision you make. My best friend, even though she knew I had gave up those things, she still was my friend. She still loved me. She still helped me if I needed help. She still was there to talk to me. You understand? And until she got there, she didn't get there at the same time that I did in God. But now she knows what it is to have a love and a reverence for God. But in the beginning, she didn't know it. And she was still out there in the world doing, certain things. So at that time she really couldn't understand where I was at. But she still was a true friend. She still stuck by me. You understand? Because when you got a true friend, it's not gonna matter what decision you make. It don't matter if you decide to be fat or skinny. If you decide to love the Lord or to just be in the world, if they're your friend, if they love you like they say they are, they'll still be there for you. They'll be like, well, friend, I really can't understand where you're at, but I'm here. If you want to talk, we can talk. We can learn together. Just whatever. We can still hang out. We can still go out to eat. My best friend would still take me out to eat for my birthday. I still remember she would still have nice gestures, even though I didn't. And what the worst feeling is that a lot of times when somebody meets you, they meet you and they be like, man, you smoke. And then when you smoking that blunt, that's how you establishing a relationship with people because you hitting the blunt. And it's like, oh, you smoke? Yeah, I smoke too. And now, but when you don't smoke, you don't have anything you gotta really have some substance. Because that's what happens a lot of time. That's how men is getting these women's. You know what I'm saying? All they gotta be like, oh, you smoke, you drink. They like, yeah, I smoke, I drink, and all of a sudden you got a common like-minded thing, and now you smoke, you drink, so you smoking, you drinking, and now you vibing, and now that's how the men weasel his way on men. But when you got a chick that don't smoke or drink, what you gonna do then? Oh, you got to come with the smarts. You got to come with your mind. You got to use your intelligence because that smoking and that drinking ain't gonna work. Because everybody don't smoke and drink. So I'm just here to tell you, everybody don't smoke and drink. You understand what I'm saying? So just it's a pleasure to be able to come before and just talk to everybody. Just talk what God puts on my heart. Just let you know that this is real life out here. There's people going through things, and Everybody's going through something. Everybody's going through something. And if you've not been tried or tested, then you might want to rethink and recheck your belief, your faith, your walk with God, because you're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. Everybody going through something. Trust me. But it's about how will you cope? How you going to deal with it? Will you be able to stand? Will you be able to endure the tests and trials that life brings? You got to be able to endure those things. So I got mad love for y'all on today. I do. And I'm building and growing. And one day I'm going to be a little bit bigger. I'm going to have a little bit more people to talk to. I'm going to have some people. I'm prophesying this. Some people will come to me and say, my sister in Christ, please pray for me. Can we talk about this? Let's have a conversation. We're going to open this thing up. You understand? So I'm just believing the Lord that this is going to go forth. This is my desire to be able to reach the people, reach out to them. And I've opened up this session just to be able to reach out to somebody on today, just to be able to show love, just to see if you have anything that's on your mind and heart, just to see if you want me to pray with you while I'll even pray with you on the spot. I'll pray with you on the spot right now. No shape, form, or fashion, just what God gives me. I'll give you a word right now for what you're going through right now. If you tell me, sister, I just need a word of encouragement right now, I'll begin to speak into your life like never before. Because that's what we need sometimes. We need a word of encouragement. We need to be motivated. We need to be just told, just keep going. It's going to be okay. Just keep going. If you don't stop, if you don't give up, your breakthrough is just right. But if you stop before you get there, you're defeated. You miss out on it. Your breakthrough is right around the corner. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't get tired. Don't get weary in well doing. Come on. And so y'all comment and let me know topics that you would like to speak on, that you would like to hear about it. I know we got all scenarios. We got blended families. We got stepmoms, stepdads. We got grandmas raising the kids, aunts, foster kids, kids in DSS care. Come on, we got people on drugs. We got drug addiction, gambling addiction. We got pornography addiction. There's all sorts of things. A lot of people feel like their men shouldn't watch pornography. Pornography is an addiction, and it's a very bad one. It's something that you have to make up in your mind that you don't want to do anymore. And it gets addictive. It does. It gets addictive. Have I ever watched it before? Yes, I have watched it. And I found myself, I have to lure myself. I don't just watch it like on a daily basis or whatever. But I've watched it before. And a lot of times people would be like, well, watch it because you can learn new things and all of this stuff. And I've watched it and I really don't get too razzled and upset if my husband doesn't watch it no more, but he used to. And when he did, he had an addiction. It becomes addiction. And I would see whenever I would go to sleep at night, he'd turn it on. You understand? But after a while, he correct. I didn't have to fuss and argue with him about it and say, you shouldn't be doing that. And I just left him alone. Prayed to God about it. He prayed to God about it, and God took that thing away from him. And I heard him say one day, you know what? I gotta stop doing this. This is not right. You know what I'm saying? I heard him say this with his own mouth. So God would begin to work on that person, and when it's something that's not right, that person should be convicted by it. Nobody's perfect. I watched it before, and you know what? There's people that would send naked photos. Like I've had so many people in the past to send pics, men seeing pics of their private areas. And I'm just speaking on this because this happens for real. Like they just out the blue, you didn't ask for it, you wasn't expecting it, and they just send it out the blue, and you immediately try to cast down every vain imagination, delete it, block the person or whatever you got. They're like, what? Like, why would you do this? But it's just the enemy trying to trick your mind. But you got to be stronger than that. You understand? So, I mean, there's all types of tricks and tactics in the world. Hey, I'm just keeping it real with you. people sending pics trying to lure you, trying to persuade and convince you to do things that you know aren't right. That's what they're doing nowadays. You understand? So listen, y'all join me in the morning. I'm gonna be on in the morning. Before, it's got to be 8 o'clock because it's got to be before church. And so I'm coming to you, and I'm gonna be just bringing praise, prayer, and inspiration to your day. This is kind of sort of like praise, prayer, and inspiration. But I spoke today, but I'm on this stream because I want to be able to reach people. If you happen to run across it and you watch it, I need subscribers. I'm looking for subscribers. Why? Why should you subscribe? Because you're helping to play a part in spreading the love and the word of God. Wouldn't you like to be a part of that, of spreading the word and the love of God? And so whenever you hear it from me, you'll be able to go and share it with somebody else. You can share it on your Facebook page. You can share it and get this word out, because there's many different people who are, there's many who are called, few are chosen. There's people with different gifts. We have all different gifts and auxiliaries, and we're able to reach people in certain ways, certain people for certain ways. Everybody's able to reach a different crowd of people. You understand? I'm gonna be able to reach the ones that's looking for somebody to keep it real, because I keep it real. I just keep it real. I just tell you, and sometimes we gotta guard our. That's why we gotta guard our eyes and our ears, because sometimes I'll see something. I'll see a man, or I'll see, and I be like, dang, he look good, you know, because I'll say that in my mind because my eyes, you know, and I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? But to try to cast down every vain imagination and thing that tries to exalt itself above God. We can see something that look nice, and there's a way we go about, you know, there's a way we go about it. Not trying to pursue and chase down everything that looks good just because it looks good, because everything that look good ain't always good. And I'm here to tell you, you understand? So um I got mad love for y'all. I thank y'all, all my subscribers. They're going up slowly, but that's okay. I want them to go up slowly, because each person that comes on and subscribes, I want to be able to talk to you. I want to be able to thank you. I want it to go slowly. So I'm glad it's going up slowly but surely. And I just want to let you guys know that you are appreciated. You make the platforms what they are, because it's your support, your shares, your likes, your loves, your input, your comments that keep us going. It really encourages. That's what it's about, exhortation. Okay. And I think I've been on for long enough. I got church in the morning, and I got to get up and do this. And so I want you to tune in tomorrow. I love you guys so much. Look, some of you I've met, some of you are my family, some of you I never met. But just know I love you. I love you because I've been and looked, and some of you have such sweet spirits. I'm just like, man, I wish I could meet them. They have such a sweet and humble spirit, and God connects you with people for reasons that we'll never know, but He knows. To have such a loving demeanor about yourself is a blessing, and I thank God for you. All right, so I think I've talked long enough. I'm getting kind of sleepy. Y'all can't tell. Whew. But pray long and hard, guys. This thing here is just so much going on in the world today. Pray long and pray hard, and don't give up. And keep the faith. And if you don't mind, comment on topics. If you have a prayer, if you have a song you want me to sing. Oh yeah, songs too. I'm all for it. I want all your feedback. I want it. I need it, and I would appreciate it. Okay, so go to YouTube, Better Than Blessed Chronicles, and subscribe so you can stay connected, stay in tune, hit bell so you can know whenever I'm going live. so you can know whenever I'm uploading a new video. I'm gonna keep it hot in the name of Jesus. Y'all have a great, blessed night.